Hi, welcome back to the show. We don't just talk about real estate, we talk about the decisions that shape your life. Because the truth is, buying a home, it's not just a transaction, it's a strategy. Make the right moves, and it can build your future. And then you make the wrong ones, it can set you back years. So today, we're going to break down something that will completely change how you look at buying a home. If you're trying to find the perfect house, I'm going to go ahead and save you a lot of time right now. It doesn't exist. And the faster you understand that, the better decisions that you're eventually going to make. Because buying a home, it isn't about finding perfection. It's about choosing your trade-offs. There's a rule of three, and they use in the service industry that applies perfectly to real estate. You can pick two out of the three. You've got quality, speed, or price. If you want something done fast and high quality, well, you're going to pay for it. And if you want something done cheap and high quality, it's going to take time. It doesn't matter how you split it up. You can only pick two out of the three. And it's the same exact way with real estate. People just don't realize it. Because when you're buying a home, there are three things that you always want to balance. There's going to be the house itself. There's the neighborhood that it's in. And then there's the commute/lifestyle, what your life actually looks like after you buy. Let's start with the house, because this is where people get emotional. You walk in, you see the kitchen and the backyard, and you fall in love. But here's the reality. There's two layers to every house. One layer is what actually matters. There's the roof, the AC, the plumbing, the structure, the windows. If those aren't right, nothing else matters. Then you have layer two, and that's everything that people think matters more than it does. The finishes, the paint color, the yard, the aesthetics. That stuff is emotional and it's changeable. You can repaint a wall. You can upgrade a kitchen. You can redo a bathroom. But you don't want to be replacing a roof and an AC at the exact same time, just because you fell in love with granite countertops. Let's get into the second one, the neighborhood. Because if you buy that house, you're not just buying it, you're buying everything around it. What's happening in that area? Are people moving in? Are they moving out? Is there new developments being brought in? Are there new businesses? Growth is what you're looking for. Or is it declining? Are people moving away? Because you can upgrade a house, but you can't upgrade a neighborhood. And this is where people make a mistake, because they buy the nicest house in the wrong area. And then they wonder why their house isn't appreciating the way they thought it would. Lifestyle and the Florida factor. Now, this is the one that people don't really think about enough. Yes, your commute, but also your lifestyle, what the day-to-day is actually going to be like. Because if you buy that house, I'm talking about how far it is to work, but also like, what are you doing on the weekends? How far is your life from there? Are you 20 minutes from Island H2O water park where you can take your kids on a random day? And I'm only saying that because I did that last week, and I'm telling you the kind of freedom that it brings, it just feels different. Or what about Walt Disney World or Universal Studios or the beach? The Florida lifestyle, that's one of the biggest reasons why people move here. And so the real question is, will the house you buy actually let you live that lifestyle? Or are you trading your time just to say that you have the perfect house? Because if you're spending 2 hours in the car every day, that's time away from your family. That's time away from your life. And that's ultimately time you just don't get back. So I have something that's called the rule of 10. It's the rule of 8 out of 10. And this is the part that most people don't want to hear. You don't get a 10 out of 10 house in all three categories. You're not getting the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood with a perfect commute at your perfect price. It just doesn't exist. So instead of chasing perfection, here's what you do. You rank each of the categories 1 to 10. The house, the neighborhood, and then your commute/lifestyle. And if that home averages out to an 8 or higher, that's a home you should seriously consider making an offer on. Because even if you do buy your dream home, then 6 months later, you're going to want to change something. Like something. Whether that be the paint or the yard or a wall, just something. Because you're going to change. Your priorities are going to change. The people who win in this market move with confidence. They understand the trade-offs, and then they take action. They're not waiting around, sitting on the sidelines, and just hoping for that perfect house, because they know it's not coming. If you're trying to figure out what that looks like for you, then reach out to me, and I'll help you break this down based off of your life, your priorities, and where you actually want to be. And until then, stay disciplined, make the move, and I'll see you on the next one.